Peace, love, and light, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Sacred Medicines. My name is Mizana, and this is the question of the day. Well, let me give you a little bit of information before we go into the question, okay? And I'll keep them coming, and let's talk. So, when you were younger, your parents gave you messages. They gave you information on how you should behave, how you should treat yourself, how you should treat others, how you should interact with your community, and um, and there's certain things that they allowed and tolerated, and so that environment grew within you. Your peers also had a lot to do with it. If you attended church, that also had a lot to do with it. So you've been indoctrinated into this culture that taught you how to be who you are today, as we sit here, as you watch this video. So the question of the day then is, what cultural messages have you internalized about what it means to be a human being? So how were you taught to behave when you came into contact with someone who looked differently than you? How were you taught to ask questions and listen? How were you taught to as a human being? Not saying that you cannot change. This is what this is all about. But as you sit here today, it speaks to who you are, that being sitting here. So, since you've had all these influences on your life, that is why you hear me say the world that we live in is an illusion, because we create our world around us. And what we use to create this world is narratives from other people from the time we were younger until adulthood. So comfortable because I don't see myself in my environment, or I'm not feeling comfortable because I see myself in the environment. It's just that their financial status may not be the same, and so I feel a certain way. How was I taught to behave amongst others when I'm in a social circle, when I'm by myself, when I'm with my spouse, my kin? How do I conduct myself as a human being? So once you start to look at the laws that were created in this space called your world, and again, I say it's an illusion because you can go in and you can change it and you can make your world whatever it is. So that's why you can move things from the unmanifest into the manifest. It's the mind. So now that you're here as an adult and you're living in this world, and we've been quarantined for a period of time, I want you to look at who you are as an individual. Do you enjoy the way you behave, how you see others, how you treat others, how you see yourself? Are there laws that you would like to go and erase and change behaviors? Maybe more motivation in certain areas, maybe more discipline in certain areas. All of that has to do with your training, who you grew into. So, question of the day, what cultural messages have you internalized about what it means to be a human being? Get your journals, write in it, meditate first, meditate on that. So go into meditation and ask to be open, ask to show you where you can do things differently. Maybe it's in the throat chakra. Maybe you speak a little too harshly to others or yourself. Maybe it is in the heart chakra. Maybe you just experience a breakup and you're really hard on yourself. And so therefore, maybe you need to look at that. Maybe need to look in your root chakra. And because of behaviors, you don't feel stable. The stability isn't there, be it financially, housing, whatever. Just start looking at different areas of your life through meditation, and let's see where it will take you. Don't forget, write in your journals. Write in your journals. It's a barometer for you. It will measure where you're going, where you came from, so on and so forth. And let me give you a little thing about this journal. What I always like to say to others, how I enjoyed journaling when I first started, I got a bunch of colored pens, and get things that speak to you, that make you feel a certain way when you touch it. The energy is high. So get a journal where the energy is high, and pens that speak to you, that bring that energy to you. And so I got a bunch of different colored pens, and for each color I made a key. So let's say red was anger, and black was love, and pink was emotional, and so on and so forth, right? So you make your little colored key with your emotions, and when you approach your journal, whatever emotion you are feeling at that time, then you write with the colored um, pen. And if it, let's say it's a stressful situation where you needed some kind of resolve, so when you feel better and the resolve is in place, right, with the feeling now that you have, and what was the solution? How did you manage? Were you frustrated? Did you yell, and were you in rage, and did you walk away and not talk about what it was that you were really feeling? So you suppressed your emotions and you walked away, and therefore that left a trail of uneasiness within you. Whatever it is, write it down in your journal, and it'll give you something to look at and to work on as we progress. And also, it will give you something to talk about if you want to bring it online. So peace, love, and light. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up for the video if you enjoyed it and want more. And I'll see you later. Stay safe. Ashe aho, Amin.